Attention, thrill seekers, are you tired of ordinary vacations, craving adrenaline-pumping adventures? Buckle up, because we're taking you on a daring journey through the world's most dangerous countries. From war-torn zones to crime-infested cities, these are the places that will test your limits. Dare to watch. 1. Brazil. Brazil is a vibrant nation known for its dense rainforests, iconic landmarks, beautiful beaches, and world-famous sports stars. However, while Brazil might be a hugely popular tourist destination, it's also one of the least unsafe countries for travelers. Despite the apparent draws to the country, violent crimes such as armed robbery, carjacking, and murder is common in urban areas during the day and at night. To make matters worse, gang-related activity is widespread and assaults, including with drugs and sedatives placed in drinks, are common. Furthermore, protests and civil unrest is a major issue in Brazil. Demonstrations and strikes are a regular occurrence in most major Brazilian cities. In addition to these risks, petty crime like pickpocketing and scams are prevalent, particularly in crowded tourist areas and public transportation. Travelers should exercise caution, avoid displaying valuables, and stay informed about the local security situation. It's also advisable to stick to well-known, populated areas and avoid walking alone at night, as being aware of your surroundings can significantly enhance your safety while exploring this vibrant but challenging country. 2. Philippines. The Philippines isn't necessarily the least unsafe country for one thing. However, when you consider multiple threat factors such as violent crime, terrorism, and natural disasters, things look very different. Firstly, according to a Statista report, the Philippines has the highest risk of natural disasters worldwide. Due to the island nation's location at the center of a typhoon belt and along a major tectonic plate boundary, the Philippines is at increased risk of earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, floods, landslides, and typhoons. Travelers are also advised to exercise caution in the Philippines due to the threat of violent crime and terrorism. Political unrest has seen the danger of terrorism increase. In 2019, a terrorist attack at a church on Jolo Island killed 27 people. Kidnappings, particularly in the southern regions of Mindanao, the Sulu Archipelago, and parts of Palawan, pose a significant risk to both locals and tourists. Additionally, street crime such as theft and scams is common in crowded areas, especially in large cities like Manila and Cebu. Travelers are advised to stay vigilant, avoid risky areas, and keep updated on local advisories to ensure a safer visit to this otherwise culturally rich and beautiful destination. 3. Mexico. In recent years, Mexico has recorded its most dangerous period in the modern era. According to Semaphore, in 2023, Mexico recorded more than 30,000 murders for the 6th year running. Other common issues in Mexico include kidnapping, sexual assault, and armed robbery. Most of the issues surrounding crime in Mexico center around gang violence and drug trafficking. Despite Mexico's problems, the country is still a thriving tourist destination that welcomes millions of travelers yearly. However, tourists are advised to exercise extreme caution if they visit. Some of the places tourists should try to avoid include Tijuana, Los Cabos, and Ciudad Juarez. 4. Egypt. Egypt is arguably the most fascinating country in the world. The allure of ancient ruins, pyramids, and hidden mysteries dating back thousands of years draws millions of tourists yearly. However, the North African country isn't the safest of places to visit. In recent years, Egypt has fallen victim to several terrorist attacks. While these attacks haven't been targeted at tourists, they can occur anywhere, anytime, and potential attacks could target popular locations. Recent terrorist attacks include the 2019 attack in Ismailia and the 2019 car bomb attack in Central Cairo's Manial district, which killed 20 people. It's also worth noting that Egypt has its fair share of tourist scams and street crime. In addition to the threat of terrorism, political unrest and protests can lead to sudden disruptions, especially in major cities like Cairo and Alexandria. Travelers should remain cautious, avoid large gatherings, and stay informed about current events. Furthermore, petty crimes such as pickpocketing and overcharging are common in tourist-heavy areas, so it's essential to stay vigilant, negotiate prices in advance, and be aware of your surroundings to enjoy a safer experience while exploring Egypt's incredible historical treasures. 5. Haiti. According to the Council on Foreign Relations, Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Unsurprisingly, this has led to near-constant violent social upheaval, increased crime levels, and extreme violence, making it one of the most unsafe countries in the world as well. Unfortunately, violent crimes such as kidnapping, armed robbery, sexual assault, and murder are becoming increasingly common across the island nation. The violence in Haiti has increased so much that the government of Haiti declared a state of emergency on March 3, 2024. Spikes of gang violence in the country even saw the airports shut down and over 360,000 people displaced. 6. Iraq. Iraq and the Middle East continues to suffer the consequences of past conflicts, as well as threats from terrorist groups, primarily Islamic State. Iraq currently sits in 11th place on the Global Terrorism Index, making it one of the most at-risk countries in the world for terrorism. Potential threats include aerial bombardment, armed conflict, ambushes, and suicide attacks. Unfortunately, following Iraq's forces withdrawing from Syria, the likelihood of attacks has increased. This is due to the potential of militants returning to their territory, which has in turn created new security issues for the country. Despite the threats, though, Iraq has a moderate crime rate of 45.82. That's almost half of Venezuela's crime rate. 7. Ukraine. Despite the ongoing political and social instability in Ukraine due to the Russian invasion, some tourists still try to visit. While travel to the Eastern European nation isn't recommended, tourists can still technically visit. The most significant threat tourists in Ukraine face is attacks from Russian forces. The eastern region remains a war zone, with aerial and ground attacks potentially occurring anywhere, anytime. There is a significant risk to life, even if you're away from the front line. As a result of the invasion, Ukraine's economy has been debilitated, so tourists can also expect to experience poverty, social problems, and poor living standards. 8. Venezuela. Venezuela is the most unsafe country in the world when it comes to crime rates. The South American nation has a crime rate of 82.1, making it a dangerous tourist destination. Venezuelan cities like Caracas and Ciudad Guyana are some of the least safe cities in the world. Most of the issues in Venezuela are due to civil unrest, corruption, hyperinflation, and economic mismanagement. As a result, burglary, murder, armed robbery, kidnapping, and carjacking are all common across the country. On top of that, wrongful detention, poor health infrastructure, and terrorism threats also affect the nation's overall safety. 9. Somalia. Before the civil war, Somalia was a popular tourist destination known for its beautiful beaches and impressive natural beauty. Now the East African nation is one of the least safe places in the world, especially for tourists. One major problem in Somalia is piracy. Illegal attacks on merchant ships and the kidnapping of tourists have had a significant impact on maritime security. Meanwhile, the threat of terrorism, lack of stability, and internal conflicts have also created an unsafe environment not suitable for tourists. To make matters worse, Somalia's geographical location puts it at risk of natural disasters, including droughts, flooding, cyclones, and famine. The ongoing humanitarian crisis further complicates the situation, making it a destination where travel is highly discouraged for the foreseeable future. 10. Afghanistan. After 20-plus years of conflict, the Global Peace Index ranks Afghanistan as the most dangerous country in the world. Since the Taliban regained control of most of the nation in 2021, things have only got worse. The ongoing conflict in Afghanistan, combined with the threat of terrorism, kidnapping, and wrongful detainment, makes it an unsuitable place for tourists to visit, especially Western travelers. Furthermore, according to the World Population Review, Afghanistan has a crime rate of 78.4, making it the fourth most unsafe country in the world regarding crime. This significant crime rate is put down to increased gang-related activity, a rise in the drug trade, and poverty across the country. Common crimes in Afghanistan include murder, kidnapping, extortion, and robbery. So there you have it, the world's most perilous destinations. Remember, safety should always be a priority. But if you're an adrenaline junkie looking for an extreme challenge, these countries might just be your calling. Want more heart-pounding content? Hit that like button and subscribe for more dangerous adventures. And don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Stay safe, explorers.